Happy Halloween, common people. It's a Common Guy Reviews, and I am your lovely host, Pepsi. I bring you this awesome Halloween top 5 movies list that you can watch at your home. You can watch some of these movies, or you can watch all the movies I'm listed here, because I calculated at some point that if you watch these oldest 5 movies, and in the order I listed them, it takes about 7.5 hours to watch them, so that's kind of the whole Halloween day, considering that this year you won't be going trick-and-treating and stuff, so I'm giving you a really good opportunity now to actually watch good movies that I like too, so maybe you can relate to my mindset even more. Haha, isn't that good, guys? Alright, let's start this list. Alright, and the first movie we are going to talk about is The Audition, 1999, directed by Takashi Miike, and is based on a novel by Ryu Murakami, who wrote that novel in 1997. I don't know how to pronounce those names, so I'm sorry about that. The movie is shortly about a guy who becomes a widow and wants to remarry. So his friend holds an audition for a movie, and after seeing an interesting woman on the application the woman sends, he wants to search for her. And when he sees her, he's like, "This is the woman of my dreams, I want her." And it was a really funny scene that when the guy who was a widow wanted to remarry because his son actually pushed him to remarry because his dad was kind of depressed. So his friend is like, I'm making a movie and I am auditioning a lot of women in this movie. This is a great opportunity for you to find a new wife. So they do that, and that is the base of the thing. But the woman he finds is kind of nut job, so it's not so funny adventure for him after all. Movie is torture porn, mostly. Not mostly, but it is a torture porn thing from Japan, so you can accept all kinds of disgusting things happening, and it is a really gritty start, but I recommend you to watch that. It's something else, I say. So let's go to the next movie. Alright, and the next movie I am recommending to you is my all-time favorite movie, The Thing, 1982, directed by John Carpenter and written by Bill Lancaster. This movie is based on a novel Who Goes There by John W. Campbell Jr., who wrote it at some point, and they made a movie about it. This movie is a classic. It's classic on the highest note of classics, and it's funny thing that this movie at one point was really hated because it was really gritty picture about alien invasion, unlike at the same time when E.T. the Extraterrestrial came out, which was really positive picture about alien invasion or one alien coming to the planet Earth. So this was a really dark thing. And the reason I'm actually saying that's the 1982 version is because I don't like the newer version, because they could have used those animatronics, but they didn't. They used the computer animation, and I'm not really 100% sure, but that why they didn't use the animatronics. But that is the one biggest reason why I'm always sticking on the 1982 version of The Thing. This is a little bit more accessible movies for everybody. If the Audition is not your thing because of torture and everything, this is a great movie to watch, or this is a great movie to start if you want only watch the 4 movies of this list. But we got 3 more movies to go, so let's head to those movies. And next one is a real good movie. And on the side note, if you don't want to watch The Thing on a sci-fi note, it's about aliens, so it's kind of sci-fi. You can always watch the old Alien movies, which are great too. But let's move on now. And in the third spot we got the Elementari, also translating as The Blacksmith from 2017. This movie is directed by Paul Urquio Alijo and it's written by Paul Urquio Alijo and Asier. Really hard last name. I'm not even going to say that, I'm just going to write it on the screen now. So this movie and the plot of this movie in short is: in 1835 in Araba, Basque country, during the First Carlist War, rebels are captured by the government and executed, but one rebel named Francisco Pazzi survives with the help of a demon. He lives in an abandoned ward and is suspected for murdering his wife, but of course he's not murdering his wife because my boy is innocent. He's only keeping a demon as prisoner and torturing it. That's a whole plot in the movie. There's a really interesting movie because you don't usually see a movie that is coming from such an obscure country as Basque. That's really interesting because it's so small country and also because the language is so unique. In the Netflix there has been some movies that are spoken in Italia or Spanish or something, because there is some movies, tiny movies from tinier producers. But this one takes the cake, truly takes the cake, and this I highly recommend you to watch this movie because it's something else. It's not as obscurely scary Halloween horror you would see. It's more like supernatural horror, and story is really beautiful, the acting is really beautiful, and of course the language is something that makes it really unique because it's such a little spoken language actually. So yeah, let's go to the next one. And the fourth movie we are going to check is the Blair Witch Project 1999. This is once again one of my all-time favorites, and really this movie doesn't need any explanations because this is such a classic movie. It's directed and written by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. It's a movie about the teenagers that take a camera and then go out in the woods to figure out what is this Blair Witch thing, the one old legend of Blair Witch. And what can I say about this movie? It's found footage, which is one of my favorite, even if not, well, found footage is my favorite kind of horror film, and I would hope that there would be more great found footage movies out there than just these. Blair Witch Project, The Cloverfield and such. Rec was good too, the first one. But this is amazing movie. It's made really well, the sound world is amazing, actors are really good, and the whole thing that how this movie came together and how it was portrayed as a real thing like cannibal holocaust and stuff, it makes this movie a historical piece. This was the one that started the found footage genre, and you should watch it as such. But next one is the last one. Number 5 is coming, and it's gonna be a little bit different, but I am sure you're going to like it. We're going to blast off to the last one. Let's go. The fifth and the final movie, Trick or Treat. This movie I watched at one Halloween with my brother, and I really liked it. And right now when I was making this list, I actually asked my brother that what movie would be a good finisher on this. And he said that, oh yeah, it was Trick or Treat. I remember that movie, it was good. And I too remembered right away that movie. It is really good. The plot is really simple. The film takes place over the course of Halloween in the fictional town of Warren Valley, Ohio. Its story is told in a non-linear narrative with characters crossing paths with each other throughout the film. And this is the one thing that makes this movie really good. There is this one character that is overlapping in every story, the one kid with the pajamas and a burlap sack over his head. He's like the spirit of Halloween or something, I don't really know. But this movie is actually a really great movie. I don't remember if this movie was actually so scary or it has any humor elements in it, but it's a great finisher, and it's such a Halloween spirit movie that even if you don't watch any other movies on my list, if you only watch this movie is something that makes your Halloween spirit come alive. Carve those pumpkins, boys, carve them up. And this was the top 5 list of my Halloween movies. I'm gonna watch some of these in my Halloween things, but if I watch some movies, others, maybe the bonus list would be something like Eraserhead and Rosemary's Baby. And of course you can't forget those timeless classics as Halloweens and Friday the 13th. Those are really classic Halloween movies. The old golden times was there, and it's there now. But thank you for watching this video, guys. This is A Common Guy Reviews, and I am your lovely host, Pepsi. And I'll say, happy Halloween everybody. Goodbye.
We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood. You only want to socialize, but I don't think we should.